Well, hey everybody, I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to As Above, So Below, a rune and tarot divination for Monday, the 27th day of May 2024. Well, happy Memorial Day if you celebrate. We're going to be planting corn and potatoes today, so that's what we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and get started here, and we'll take the rune from the Elder Futhark bag, if it will ever fall into my hand. Okay. We have Yura. We had Yura last Monday. Yura it means year, but it also means fertility. It means unfolding awareness. Let's see, it's the 12th rune of the Elder Futhark. It's about transformation, balance, give and take, cycles. It can be useful in a garden bind rune. I have one with it out in the, I made several of them and I have to redo them this year. They need to be done again. The weather has sort of taken them, and so it's time to do various garden bind runes for the various areas I have. But energetic alignment, again, unfolding awareness. I tend to gravitate toward that particular interpretation of it because essentially it's Kenaz forward and reversed. You can see Kenaz there both places. And Kenaz is the torch or the light of spirit. So I think that, when you have that give and take within the self, you're looking really at unfolding awareness that's coming from higher awareness, from spirit. So let's go ahead though and let's see what the lower side of things, the below side is today with the Geomancy runes. Put them over here where I can see them. I'm going to put them in the order of fire, air, water, and earth. There's air. So here we're looking at Amisio. Now, I've talked about this recently because we've had Amisio. We had the same thing last Monday, Amisio. Amisio is the opposite or complement of acquisitio, whereas acquisitio would be gain or increase. Amisio would be loss or decrease. So you can think of it from an emotional standpoint, because that's where it would be coming from. It's like, oh, I lost this or I lost that. Well, I mean, if you were ill and you're no longer ill, then you lost the illness, right? And health has returned. So this is really more of an energetic type of thing. And when you're looking at Yura as energetic alignment, maybe we're looking at the decrease of that today. And maybe the cards are going to tell us why. So I'm just going to jot that part down here, maybe because that's going to be a possibility of energetic. And let's see, we have, and then I said that this was the 12th rune, so that's going to be a 3 numerology. We're going to add that to the cards and to the numerology of the cards and get the overall one here too. So when we're done shuffling and laying the cards out, we'll take a look at what the numerology is before we really start the reading. I figure if I do that, then I'm not going to forget. Otherwise, I get going and I get talking and I forget to do the numerology. So you can always check. Well, I'm not doing very well today shuffling. Too much garden work yesterday. Well, it's that time of year. So let's go ahead and cut the deck and take the lower half. Okay, so we have 2 from the suit of wands, so that says we have a run on wands. And wands is the fire element, so it's going to be things that are dynamic, energetic. Again, we have a little bit of a decrease there. And so creativity, new opportunities, all of that. So I'm going to leave them in the order I have them, because I think that, yeah, let's leave them in the order I have them. I don't have to do that. I don't have that. I don't set that intention that I'm doing a here's what happened, then this is what happened, and then this is what happens type of a reading. If I did, then I would definitely leave them in the order they are. Otherwise, sometimes I move them around to see if they can make a little bit more sense. But I'm going to leave it as they are here. So let's do this numerology first. Okay, where did my little calculator go? There it is. So we have 12, which reduces to 3 for Yira. We have 2 here for the 2 of Wands. We have 5 for the 5 of Cups, and we have 4 for the 4 of Wands. That gives us 14. 4 and 1 is 5, so it reduces to 5. So 5 is a lot of things. It can be innovation, variety, protection, but it's also about change. And so something has changed to where there's a decrease maybe in energetic alignment, or a decrease in give and take between people. Something's happened. Some unfolding awareness is coming about as a result. You could look at it that way also with Yira. But the 5 of Cups would definitely align with the idea of there being an issue with alignment here with other people, a decrease in that give and take, that relationship that could also be implied by Yira. But let's go ahead and start with the 2. Here we have a merchant. He's holding a globe in his hand, and he's resting a staff on top of he's up above, he's up either up on a bridge or he's up on the top of a building. Here you see this looks actually like, it doesn't look like roses. It might be, but that might be their rendition of it, but it looks more like pomegranates. So you got lilies there on the wall there. You also see the town below. You see a lot of greenery, a lot of mountains. You see the body of water there. There's another staff affixed to the wall. So in a sense, when you see things affixed, either attached to something or embedded in the ground or what have you, you still see life growing from them, by the way. So there's all this creativity, there's all this new opportunity. He brings with him what he already has and possesses. But here he's holding the globe and he's looking out over the water, essentially trying to make a decision about his future. Okay. I mean, basically the world is your oyster kind of thing. Anything is possible at this point. When you go to the 3, you're looking at, he's already walked through the doorway. He's waiting for his ship to come in and all of that. But at this point, we're still making a decision about what that is. So there could be something today where you have to make a decision about your future. Maybe you're considering some new opportunities. Maybe you've been offered a different position in the job you're in, or maybe a position at another job. Or maybe you're thinking about starting your own business. Some kind of change is happening, again, with the overall 5 numerology for the reading. Some kind of change has happened. Now, then we come to the 5 of Cups. You see the arched bridge here, the little castle in the distance, the water, the body of water there, the river, the creek or stream or whatever it is. Probably more like a creek. Doesn't look that big. You see 3 cups overturned. You see the contents spilled on the ground right here. You see 2 standing behind him, but he's caught up in grief and loss. So something has happened. Either what he wanted to happen in the 2 is not happening. Or if we look at the 5 first and start over, we could say something has happened that's caused him great grief. So maybe he's lost his job, maybe a relationship's gone sour, but something's happened where his head is down, he's wearing a black cloak or a black cape, he can't see the cups behind him, and the others are turned over. So 5 is really about grief and loss here, the change that's happening here emotionally to somebody. And then from there, it might instigate the 2 of Wands here, where you decide to go now that whatever has happened here, it's maybe freed you up. Even though you're not happy about it, it's freed you up to go do something else, and you're going to go do that. So you're going to get up above everything, rise above whatever feelings you have, and start pursuing a new opportunity. And 2 is about decisions. It's also about reciprocity and healing and balance and love and all of that. But basically what he's doing here is making a decision about his future. So either the 5 was the catalyst that prompted him to do this, or he's doing this and then he suffered a loss. Okay. But I think that when we get to the 4 here of wands, I don't know. I think it does. I don't think it transitions well to that. So let's go ahead and we'll move this around. And again, we start with the 5 of cups, where he's experienced a loss, and maybe you have, of some kind in your life. Again, any kind of loss. That creates a change in you, that invokes change in your life. And so then you have to make a decision about what you're going to do and where you're going to go with all of it, with your life. So again, it could be the loss of a relationship, maybe a marriage. It could be a loss of a job, where you had all, you were really into the job and all of a sudden you don't have it anymore. For whatever reason. So this massive change and the reason I say that is because you've got the castle in the distance and he's on the other side, right? So he's not there getting the comfort that he needs. So either he's ashamed because he lost his job and he can't go back home and he's afraid to tell his family, or maybe a loss of the relationship and now he's on his own and he has to make his way. So either way, and it could be any number of things. I'm just sort of hitting on those two. But here you have, the 2 of wands, where the decision is made. And from then, balance returns. I sort of think that this is not about the loss of a relationship. I just think it's a loss about maybe some work. It's because here you have the new relationship starting. Here you see the couple in the distance there. They've gotten married here. You see the poles and the 4 poles and the crossed wreath or cross garlands up there. You see the castle in the distance. So this could be, someone royal who's getting married or what have you. It probably is. You again see the arched bridge right here. This is a little bit more ornate than the castle right here, but again, you see a similarity with the crossed with the bridge that goes across the water. Now, the water's just implied here. Because you can't see it. But you see all the guests back there. If you really wanted to get into the real esoteric aspect of this, then you would look at this as the balance polarity. Polarities came into balance for each individual, and then they come together in harmony with other, or in other words, energetic alignment with one another. You could look at it that way. So it would definitely relate to Yira here. But what you have, I think, is that you had the loss of a job, you decided to get a new one, and then once you did that and you established yourself, then you're able to move forward into a new foundation. 4 is about foundation and structure and practicality, grounding. But I think you'll agree that when you decide to get married or whatever, or come into some kind of partnership with somebody, whether it's a business partner or a love partner, this would indicate love partner. But really, if you choose a new business, right, that you want to get involved with, a new direction in your life career-wise, I don't know, maybe you do that because you're going to form a business with somebody else. So it could be a partnership that way. But here you have a new partnership that becomes the foundation of your experience, of your life, of your career, whatever. But I think that maybe the decrease in energetic alignment aligns well with the 5 of cups, where something is just off. The transformation that needs to take place just isn't. The balance that's happening isn't. The give and take that's happening isn't. So either there was a problem in the relationship, maybe, or the problem at the job and things weren't gelling. Maybe after you get out of the situation you're in and you go for something new, then maybe you come back together with one another. So if this is about a relationship, if what we're talking about here is about a decrease in that type of energetic alignment or partnership, you can maybe reestablish it once you get things straight and you get on the right track. Then maybe the partner is willing to come back into your life. So maybe there was a struggle with that sort of thing. But if it's purely work related, then it could be that you've lost your job. Now you're looking for something new, which involves a partnership. So we could look at it that way as well. I tend to, every time I think I'm going to lean one way, then I go back to the relationship thing. I just think that things are not going well with the 5, and that's the profound change, really. that's catalyzing the whole experience. So whether again it's the decrease or loss of a job, or the loss of a relationship, or something that's impacted the relationship dramatically, something has to change and a decision has to be made about your future. And once that gets going, then maybe things settle down, and the life you were trying to get, that got changed here with the Five of Cups, is now coming back into focus, and the partnership is reestablished, the partnership thrives, and then you decide to seal the deal, in other words, and create the new foundation and structure in your life. Because, getting married does that, having children does that. But this is not talking about kids. This is talking about maybe a marriage. But a marriage can also indicate a partnership. So if this is purely career related, then maybe the decision you make leads to a positive partnership in the final analysis. And then from there, you go forward with the remainder of that experience. Whether it's a marriage or a type of a work partnership, if you decide to open your own business, for example. It could have something to do with that. But at that point, you would have the decrease of all the drama, and something new has been reestablished, a new foundation's been reestablished. So missio at that point can mean decrease of all the drama that was, where if you were struggling to align with someone else, struggling with that type of experience for whatever reason, either because of something you're doing or something that your partner's doing or whatever that happens, you have a change, again, reinforced by the overall numerology of the reading of 5 is also change. So we begin with change and a new decision, and then a new partnership, a new foundation, a new structure, where you can, the new opportunities that come from that, so, and that grow from that. Because again, you're looking at staffs that also have little branches and twigs starting to grow from them, right? So things continue to grow and progress. So I think, even though it might start out with change that might be upsetting, I think it opens the door to something else here today, whatever this change is for you. And then you have the decrease of all the drama that's in your life, right? You can go in a better direction, one that's more productive, one that implies growth in the future, and success. So at some point, then we would turn a missio around and we'd have acquisitio, which is gain. So anyway, I think that's it. I'm not going to do a long reading here today because of the holiday, and because my garden bed is calling. I don't know if my husband's ready. He's going to run the tiller in it one more time, but we've got to get the tomatoes and the corn in the ground, and hopefully no. I ordered more frost blankets, so they're coming, and so hopefully they'll be here shortly, and I have a lot, but I always need more. So, and I got really, really long. They're like 10 by 33, and so really super long. And this one bed that we plant the corn and the potatoes in, it's a really long bed, and so it's perfect for that. So, just in case we get a frost. So, anyhow, again, have a good holiday if you're celebrating. If you're doing a barbecue, that's always fun. We used to do a barbecue every years ago when the kids were little, but we don't anymore. Now we just plant. That's all we do. We just plant on Memorial Day weekend. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and check out everything on the blog over at Stepping Aside. The web address is imsteppingaside.com. If you forget, click on more below the video. A little window will open and it'll show that website address, plus a bunch of other stuff. And check out the everything went out onto Stepping Aside at the blog last night in the midnight hour on Sunday, and so the forecast for the week is up. The correspondences for Work and Magic are up for the week. Let's see, the astrological overview is out, and so's the Exploring Tarot post. That's there too. If you subscribe to stuff I do over there on Medium, Patreon, or Substack, you'll find that stuff over there as well. I did do a Sunday Tarot that I only posted on the blog. And so that's up there too. I used the Morgan Greer deck on that one. That was an interesting one to do. So if you want to check that out, go over there and see that. I guess that's it though. Thanks for watching, and click subscribe. I'd love you to do that, and come back again on Thursday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.